Welcome to my channel. This is Dawn with Pink Chair Gaming, and today we're going to tour my Rags to Riches Island, Rock Creek. Even though I didn't officially complete the challenge, I got a lot of it done, but I did not have it in me to complete the entire challenge. But I did finish decorating my island, which is a 5-star island, and I wanted to give you a tour. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start by taking a look at my flag. I had a lot of fun with this. I found a picture on the internet that I really liked, and I used an app to help me create the flag and then just uploaded it to my island. But for now, let's start with the map. Here it is. It is pretty simple. When I originally started making this map, it was to compete in Rags to Riches, and you'll kind of see that as we go through the island. So I kind of tried to decorate around the Rags to Riches aspect of it. But here's the villagers I've got. I've got Rex, Cookie, Gala, Norma, Raymond, Wendy, Dobie, Francine, Molly, and Pearl. And if you'd like to visit along, the dream address is at the bottom of the screen. All right, so here we go. As you leave resident services and you get into my little entrance area, I had a lot of fun with the Rock Creek aspect of the island. My pathing has little rocks in it, and I found this really cool little creek code that has rocks in it. And you'll find it scattered throughout the island, and I was really happy finding these codes. It made doing this island a lot of fun. But this is how my entrance turned out, and I'm really happy with how it is. There is a cute little hedge maze over to the right that you're welcome to try your luck at to see if you can get through it or not. All right, here is my resident services area. I tried to just kind of build up around the back of it just to give it some depth behind there, and I thought it turned out pretty good. All right, we're going to go to the left-hand side, and here is my museum. And I love this little like gravelly pathway thing. It is one of my favorite little paths that I found. I had a lot of fun using it, and I really like how the museum turned out. Alright, so we're going to go around this way. I've got a little villager house right there. I think that's Norma's house. But we're going to cut over this way and go back towards the entrance. You can't actually get to this area from the entrance. But as you can see, there it is. And here is this little area. And I love how this turned out. Let me see if I can get a little bit better view for you. There you go. I love that water pathway, and I thought that the little fountain just kind of added to it with all the little rocks and stuff. I had a lot of fun with this area. This was probably the first area that I really decorated on the island, and it kind of set the mood for the entire island, and I like how it turned out. Alright, so we are going to go back over this way, and here is my Abel sisters. Very, very simple. I just made a couple little seating areas and some books you could read and that type of stuff. I tried to make it a lot more simple than I normally do. Alright. Crossing over the river. You'll find in this island I have a lot of just walking areas that you can walk through. That is just lots of terraforming. But I have fun with that. That's one of my favorite aspects of Animal Crossing is doing terraforming, and I just like how this turned out. Alright, so moving forward, we're going to hop across here, and going back towards this way, I have a little garden area where I tried to breed flowers. I tried my best to breed and get a blue rose, and I got all the way up to getting the red ones and just could never get a blue rose to spawn. So unfortunately I didn't get my blue rose, but I like how this little area turned out for breeding my flowers, and decided to build the little greenhouse, which I thought was a cute little effect for the area. All right, we're going to head up to the next level, and it's kind of an extension of the garden from below along with my house. And I'm not going to bore you with details inside my house, but it is decorated if you want to go in. The basement has all of the accomplishments that I did finish within Rags to Riches. But as I say, I'm not going to bore you with looking at my house. I know you're here for an island tour. So we're going to keep going up this way. And this is where my campsite is. And I had a lot of fun with this. Originally, I was just going to have like this little itty-bitty place back in the corner. And I was like, you know what? What else am I going to do with this big area up here? So I decided to turn this whole area into a more wilderness looking area, a little overgrown, and just made this entire area up here part of the campsite. And I'm not one that's actually like decorated a lot with weeds before, but I did it on this island in a couple of places, and I am starting to really enjoy doing that. I might have to start doing that more with my islands. Alright, so that is my campsite. We're going to go around this way. And this is one of the areas that I really focused on when I was trying to finish the Rags to Riches challenge. I actually have 2 really big gardens up here. They were for cooking, because cooking got a lot more money than just harvesting them and selling the crops. However, it takes a really long time to do all of the cooking required to get that money, and I think that's what made me get burnt out on this challenge. But I kept the gardens because I really liked them. I thought they were kind of cute, and I liked having this neighborhood back here with just this one little wooden pathway and all my houses lined up. It made it kind of neat when I wanted to go visit my villagers. They were just kind of all right here together in one big neighborhood. So I really like that aspect of it. I'm not normally a huge neighborhood fan like this, but this one turned out pretty cute. Alright, over here I had this little area left over at the end, and I just turned it into a cute little seating area where you can come sit down, have a snack, read a book, that type of stuff. Alright, we're going to make our way through this garden, and we are going to go over here first. Oh, hello, Cookie. Oh, goodness. Okay, fine. You can have whatever. That's fine. I don't need the baby bear anyway that was in my pockets. Bless her. Okay, so anyway, here's like this little barn looking thing in between my 2 gardens. Kind of like almost like a little market area, which leads into my orchard. And I decided to do an apple orchard. My native fruit on this island was oranges, but as I was trying to make money with Rags to Riches, I decided to plant a different type of fruit, and I chose the apples just because I really like apple trees. And that was what I would shake trees on to sell all of my fruit. Alright, going over this way further, I had this area up here. It took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do with just this little spot. I'm not one for making tons and tons of seating areas, so I turned this into a strawberry patch where you pick your own little strawberries, and I thought it turned out really, really cute. Alright, so now we're going to make our way down this direction. And here I did make a cute little seating area. I just had this little space, and I was like, well, let's just see what all I can do with it. And this is one of my favorite areas on the island. I thought it turned out absolutely precious. Alright, so we're going to come back across the bridge, and this is just an extra little building I had. You could consider it part of my shopping district, I guess, since it does have like a little glass door. It's not any particular type of a shop. It's just an extra little building because I love fake buildings. This one actually ended up being the only one on this island, so really surprised me in the end. But I really like it. It's one of my favorites. Alright, so we're going to cut back over this way, and if you're taking a tour, if you cut back over here, this goes back towards my garden area. So you can come back across here and go this way, and you can see we have the museum to the right and the house over to the left. So we're going to make our way back towards resident services and go across here. So here is my nooks. Very, very simple. I didn't do a whole lot with it, but I really like how it turned out, just being very simple like that. Alright, before we go up that way, we're going to cut across the bridge, and I want to show you this little area that I am very, very proud of. I mentioned before, I've never done a lot with decorating with weeds and doing meadows, and this turned out absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite areas on the island. I originally had this. I had found this idea in Pinterest, and I really liked it. So I created this first, and I was like, okay, so I have this area. Now what do I do with this over here? And I was like, let me just plant a bunch of stuff. And then I created a winding path. And it absolutely turned into one of my favorite areas of the island. I've never done a meadow like this before, so I kind of reached out on this island to do some different things, and this just turned out amazing. And it makes its way up here to a house. Maybe this is Norma's house and the other one's Cookie's. Anyway, I do have a villager house with their own little baby garden. And I turned my peninsula into a little wash area. Alright, so we are going to... Oh, and if you're touring the island, if you want to, you can come back this way and hop across and take the ladder back up, and that goes up towards where my gardens are at. And I thought this turned out really good too. You can't actually walk up here, but I at least wanted the view to be really, really pretty. Alright, so we're going to make our way back through our little meadow and back across the bridge. And this is another one of my favorite areas. I made this early on in the game, and I've never changed it because I was so happy with how it turned out. Originally, this little area over here to the right, I had for keeping my turnips during the challenge. That way I didn't have to keep them in my pockets. It was a little turnip garden. But when I got through doing all the turnips, I decided to use the watermelon and the cauliflowers for a different type of a garden. But I love this little walkway. I thought it turned out really, really pretty. Alright, and as you head across, I had another little area that took me a little bit to figure out exactly what I wanted here. But I turned it into a little beehive area, and this turned out much better than I anticipated. I also saw this idea on Pinterest and just kind of ran away with it. But yeah, this turned out really, really good. Alright, and now we are back up where my garden area is. Dobie, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not going to happen right now. Alright. And I think that's basically it for the tour of my island. That is everything. We're going to cut back down through here, and we'll go find a cute little spot to just sit and admire my island. How about right here? Alright, I want to thank everybody for being with me through all of this. I had a lot of fun with Rags to Riches. I'm kind of sorry that I didn't finish it. I did finish my hard mode island. But this one, there were two things that was just really hard for me to complete. One was the fishing tourney. I missed it the first time around and did not get it completed. There was no way I was going day by day to finally get to the next one, which was like 3 months later in the game. The other was finishing my Critterpedia. Part of that's because I really got tired of, deep sea diving and having to go further in the game. And the last one was the money. There was just no way that I was going to grind what I needed to in order to finish. But I'm really glad I finished decorating my island and I didn't give up on it, because there are a lot of areas on this island that I am very, very happy with. Alright, so with that being said, I have something really big planned for my channel coming up. I'm going to take a few weeks off, so you may not see any videos, but definitely be on the lookout towards the end of the month. I got something really big planned, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!